Good morning. I'm Dennis Willich with Nationwide Southwest America's Marketing Group. I'm here this morning with Gene Pena. He is the president and CEO of Central Plumbing, and we are in Harlingen, Texas. And I want to tell you something. When I walked in here yesterday and drove up to the front of this new showroom, I was awestruck. It's one of the most gorgeous showrooms I have been in my entire career. So with that, Mr. Gene Pena, good morning. Glad to have you here.
Dennis, good morning to you and your whole Nationwide team, and we thank you for being down here. And yes, we're very proud of our newest store here in Harlingen. We've been here for over 25 years, and the citizens of Harlingen have just been awesome to us, and we're very grateful.
Well, that's great. And, so what number of stores is this right here? How many have you got now?
Right now we have 7 stores.
7 stores.
So this store, even though it's a new 16,000 square foot store, it's a relocation of the store that we've been here. So it's not a brand new addition. It's just a relocation of an older store.
I got you. Okay. Well, you sure did a great job. And, of course, your brother Pablo had a chance to talk with him some yesterday. And, wow, he gave me a tour of this thing. And I'll tell you what, it is incredible. It's an incredible operation and, of course, still in progress. So, and today you're going to have a big grand opening. We're going to cut a ribbon out here and have some fun and have a lot of friends and reps and everything else here.
Yes, we have a lot of family and dignitaries. We're hoping to have the mayor of Harlingen here, and kudos to my brother Paul for taking charge of construction of this whole store. It was a big project. It's not easy it's not easy. It was a complicated construction, but we're very grateful, and that just shows that you'll see my family we all work together, and it takes all of us to run our business, and I'm very proud of my family in general and my family that we work together, and that's what carries us.
Yeah. Well, getting to meet all of the family, and little by little, there's a lot of family here, by the way. And
well, if you forget anybody's name, just say Pena. You're okay.
That's good. That's good. Now, talking a little bit about the beginning of Central, I'd like you to tell our people where it began, where it got started, and kind of give us a little bit of the beginnings, and then let's talk a little bit about the culture of the company and what you guys have been able to develop and build on, and the importance of that.
Yes. We're based in Weslaco, and I was born and raised in Weslaco, and so was my dad. So in April of 1964, my mom and dad, Pablo and Eva Pena, decided to open a plumbing distributorship. And, my dad, he was a visionary. He had tremendous common sense, and tremendous drive, and failure was not an option. And he worked it. Him and my mom worked it. He borrowed $25,000 to start the business. He used his mom's house as collateral to start the business.
Uh-huh.
And we've grown steadily every year. And we don't do things crazy. When we take a step, we take a solid step. And we've gone. It was my mom and dad and a gentleman named Hilario Temes. There was 3 of them. Started. Now we have over 140 employees, 7 total stores, and still growing.
Yeah.
And the culture is we're a family business, and we treat everybody like family. We have an open door policy with all our employees, and we've become a bigger family business, but we don't plan to change the family atmosphere of our company, no matter how big we get.
Yeah. One of the other things that what's interesting is in your expansion as you move forward. Of course, I know your brother told me yesterday that you're presently working on a new operation down in Brownsville.
Correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So we've had a store in Brownsville on International. And so what happened is 2 years ago, like I said, we've been in the plumbing, and we've been in the electrical, we've been in the lighting business for many, many years. And I had a missing piece with the showroom walking in, and that was appliances. So we were determined to get into appliances, make that happen. And 2 years ago, I knew, and I reached out to Bobby Stevenson, who owns Stevenson's Appliances. The business has been around for 70 years. And we came to an agreement. It worked out for both of us, and we bought Stevenson's Appliances. And that's what brought the appliance piece to our business, which fit perfect, because we deal with consumers of all types. We deal with builders of all types, custom home builders, designers, and coming into our store with our staff that is knowledgeable in those areas, dealing with that customer base has just taken us to a whole different level, and that's what's going to help us keep growing. So I'm renting from Bobby in Brownsville, just appliances. So we need to be, for us to be successful, we need to have everything under one roof. So we had land right next to our existing store in Brownsville where we have a showroom, and we're getting ready to pour concrete soon, and we're building a 10,000 square foot showroom, which that showroom, as far as the showroom, will be bigger than the Harlingen showroom, where we will have plumbing, lighting, and appliances under one roof in Brownsville.
Okay.
By January of this year, February at the latest.
Beautiful. So by probably speeding that process forward, as you talked about wanting to be in the appliance business, and then Stevenson's been in there for 70 years, they had a lot of brands and different things that probably allowed you to get into some other the brands. I know some of the challenges out there sometimes is not what you want to do, but can you get the brands that you want? And brands are important in appliances, especially when you're dealing in the premium upper scale type stuff. It's very important.
Correct. It was very important, and I was very clear with Bobby when we were negotiating, is that I had to have the brands. That's what I was buying, and I had to have Sub-Zero, Thermador, and Whirlpool KitchenAid. That was a must. Yeah. And, we talked to the vendors. Bobby talked to the vendors, and obviously they came across. We have those brands. So those are premier tier brands. We now also have GE and all the GE appliances. And, it's been great. And then in plumbing, the number one plumbing line is Kohler, Kohler.com. So that is our big plumbing line, and we have the name brands and lighting and fans. So we have a lot to offer all our customers.
Right. Now, speaking of the premium side of the business, of course, you've got those covered. But also, you also have ventured more into, say, the middle of the line and working directly with the public now and selling directly with the public in the appliance side of the business. Doesn't that also bring in an additional opportunity for you in a lot of other areas, along with you've got probably all kinds of contractors now that would come in and get the plumbing, maybe the electrical or whatever they were needing for construction purpose. But now having these lines of appliances and stuff has got to really enhance your opportunities to grow even bigger with that division.
Yes, we're very entrenched in the multifamily, with apartments, with tract homes, tract builders, and we've always been involved from the low to the highest. And it's not an easy thing to do, but we've always done it. So we carry. There was a builder that needed some appliances, and he needed 20 refrigerators, 20 microwaves, 20 dishwashers. We have them in stock, and we have them in stock at the right price. So we do cater to the pack homes and to the multifamily apartments, and we have the buying power to buy those appliances and still be able to compete and beat the big box stores. Yeah.
That's very important. And again, when you think about where you started out, and then by getting the Stevenson's acquisition done, and that brought you forward, that had to speed that process up dramatically from what it would have taken. You could have still got where you wanted to go, but it might have taken you a little longer, simply because one of the things with a lot of the high-end brands, of course, is the distribution model. They are very, they control that distribution, and sometimes it becomes harder.
Yeah.
So that was a very smart move on your part to look at somebody that was already established, had been in that business, and somebody that could move those brands in. So that's a very good point that you bring out there.
Yeah, it's an important point. I'm glad you pointed it out. These big companies, premium companies, even in plumbing, they have selective distribution. So there's many people, they get called, the Kohlers of the world, Sub-Zeros, Thermadors of the world, get called all the time. People that want to start a business and they want to buy it. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Their model is to have selective distribution.
Yeah.
And it's important. And I knew that it would be a challenge for me to get these premium brands dividing by a company, and having been in the business and the distribution business for 60 years now, I know how it works. And I knew that was the answer, and it worked out, for both parties.
Yeah.
The Stevenson party, they're happy that everything went well for them, and we're happy because we got what we wanted. It's the future of our company for the next 60 years.
Yeah, and that's good. And as you look ahead, I'm sitting here looking out the door here and looking into a big room out here called the outdoor living room. So give me a little insight into that now. You've got another whole, of course, with, the younger generation today, especially, and of course, since COVID, the backyard has become the gathering spot, as they call it. Yeah. And that's the area where everybody wants to meet and greet and get together back there, whether it be with the block people or maybe kids, whatever. That's an area now that has become so important, and it absolutely, it's incredible to watch the growth and what's going on back there. And again, one of the things in that outdoor living area that it's playing right into the same hands as we are inside of our kitchen. Yeah. And by the way, they're looking for brands. They're looking for certain things, and all of that. So tell me a little bit about, so visionary, yes, I can see that you're a great visionary, as your dad was.
Yes.
And I think that's an important thing in this business today, to keep looking and watching what's out there, because like I like to tell people all the time, we're in these neighborhoods. We got thousands of homes. You got people living there. These people wake up every morning and they want to buy something, and they all have different ideas on what they're going to go get today. And having a broader assortment of items and things that you guys can offer, what a great move on your part. I cannot tell you enough. This is a great move on your part. So tell me a little bit about how you got started there.
Yes, well, the outdoor living is a new category for us, but it is related to home building and remodeling. And you're right that COVID kind of expedited that, but there's not a lot of options for people out there on the outdoor living. As one of the things that has made us very successful is in whatever category that we're in, we try to carry a lot of on-hand stock. So as you go out to the outdoor living, you're going to see our plastic, some furniture. There's some colored furniture, some tables. And if you wanted to buy one of them today, you could take it with you today, because we keep it in stock, and let's face it, most customers, when they want something, they want it right away, and a lot of our competitors, well, we can get it for you. We'll order it for you.
Right.
I mean, that's nice, but we're in a position to carry a tremendous amount of stock, and that placed right into our hand, and along with having the stock and having the name brands in the outdoor living scenario, because we also brought in brand new to us is hot tubs. We're
Yep.
getting into the grilling and the pellet grills and the built-in cabinets and built-in pellet grills, and it's a category that's going to grow. And on a personal basis, not I don't want to talk bad about restaurants, but a lot of people, it's expensive to eat out.
Yes.
I know a lot of people have a little fatigue with the upcharges on credit cards, the tipping, and that has kind of pushed people to the outdoor cooking in the home. Because let's face it, who can cook the best food is yourself. Quality, you can have your refreshments that you prefer,
Right.
and I think that's going to keep growing.
Right.
And that's a category that we will grow with the market, and
Yeah.
we're committed to that category. We don't get into any category if we're not all in,
Right.
and we're all in on outdoor living.
Yeah. Well, as I said earlier, coming here and then seeing where you had started, and my gosh, there's so much. And again, that backyard, I've researched and read about how this younger generation treats that backyard. It's really become, and they call it the gathering spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place where they gather, they get together, and it's for the whole family. It's not just for adults anymore, like you used to go back there and maybe for adults more than one. Now it's for the whole family. The kids get involved. Everybody's involved. Kids are making pizzas and
Yeah.
this and that. And there, all the stuff that goes together with that, and listening and watching, and again, it's if you're not staying on top of listening to what the consumers are saying, then you miss out. So many of our dealers miss out on opportunities because they're not tuned in to what the consumer is saying. And I think when we tune the consumer out, they tune us out.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's an important point that
Yeah.
you pick up on here.
Yes, we try to listen to the consumers, and it's constantly changing. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Right. And so my whole team, that's around me, they're all very involved, and we talk to customers and friends, and what's going on, and what do you like, what don't you like, and what's evolving. So we're very entrenched
Right.
in this market,
Right.
and we do listen to our customers, and we do everything we can to take care of them.
That's it.
And we're changing, and I mean, we've changed just in 2 years. We've changed massively.
Yeah, and you can see the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a funny thing about that backyard is we talk about all the high end and the premium brand and all the stuff that people put into their kitchens. That's really a showcase for them, to showcase their house, their home. And now we're seeing the same repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And what's amazing to me is to see the influence in the backyard that women have had.
Right.
It's incredible. And a lot of, we have several members now in our group that are women that have started outdoor living spaces on their own, and we're seeing the same type of repeat. And when you sit down and talk to them and they say, hey, Dennis, take a look at this invoice I just wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And the invoice is $45,000 for outdoor furniture.
Right.
And it's like, holy man, I was like, what in the world? But that's what the consumer is asking for. They're asking for furniture. And so you've got a broad base to work within there, and it really fits just like a glove when you're talking about how you put your business together internally, and now we're going to go to the backyard. That business in the backyard is going to mirror exactly what you're doing inside here.
Yeah, that category of outdoor is not only a new construction category, but I mean, how many existing homes are there in this country?
Yeah.
It's a big remodel. I mean, people that have been in their homes forever say, hey, time to do something outside. We like to get together with family, friends, neighbors.
Yep.
And I mean, it's a showpiece.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Looking back a few years back, of course, the backyard having a swimming pool, a lot of swimming pools in backyards. Well, then the next big thing was we need a television outside. But they really weren't developed in the days. Now they've got it to where you want a 95, 98, 100-inch television stick by your pool. It's there, and it's in the weather.
Yeah.
And it's great. Then all of a sudden I'm watching television. Well, hey, I want to do this. Now you got modular kitchens in that backyard that mirror some of the stuff that's going on inside your house.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's an ongoing opportunity for us and all of that. So as you look ahead, let me ask you this as a visionary. Okay, so you made a very good point earlier, and I that really triggered my mind. We take one step at a time, but it's a solid step. So you think things out, you see the vision, you think things out, but when you do make the decision and you make the move and you step into that space, you're going to be very comfortable. And the other thing that's probably more important than all is you're going to be extremely successful. Yes. And I think that's where I would like to go next. As you move ahead, and obviously you're working on a new store in Brownsville, and I think you mentioned that you've got other things in mind down the road. You're just going to take one step at a time. So what is your game plan long-term wise? Do you have some kind of a goal out that says, I would like to have this many locations, or there are opportunities within the valley all through the southern areas? There's opportunities here for more storefronts and things like that?
Yes. Right now, there's a lot to be done with the existing stores. So our focus is to grow organically.
Yeah.
Because that's where we can realize the most profit. Another thing that's very important, or none of this will be possible, is that myself and my two brothers, Pablo and David, we're second generation. So for our company to keep going and growing, we're prepping, and I'm prepping and getting everything ready for the third generation. And the third generation is here. And it's very, very important if we're going to continue growing and doing all the things that we're going to do, that we have that succession in place.
Yeah.
And that is very important to me. It's high on my list to have our succession plan done. I don't plan to retire anytime soon. My other two brothers, they're all younger than me. I'm the oldest. Right. But I know, as a leader, that has to be in place.
Yeah.
And it will be in place. And we're all working together.
Yeah. And that's so evident, as I said before, just being here in the presence of your family and all of the employees that you have, your team that you have here, and everything, and of course your family being tied together and working together and being in the family. And you hit on a point that really drives the nerve in my heart, and that is I've seen so many great companies built over many years, only to just no succession, no, it's a dead end, and then they retire, close up, sell the property, and move on, and it's a big loss for us,
right?
And for the community, I think. So because we deal as Nationwide Southwest. We only deal with independents, right. So that's our bread and butter. It's the people we want to work with, we want to help, and do everything that we can. Which brings me to the next vision. Tell me a little bit. All right, obviously you're into a whole new. Couple of years ago, you really got deep into the appliances, and you're driving. So you're direct. So now we're not just selling plumbing supplies and things. We're inside the kitchens. We're doing all that. Now, tell me a little bit. What is your marketing concept? Can you give me a little idea of some of the things that you're doing out there as far as marketing and promotions and all that?
Yeah, that's a good question. And we've never been afraid to spend money in marketing. We are, on a paid I'm paid Instagram, Facebook, Google. We spend a lot of money on Google Ads, all the keywords. And we've done TV. We're constantly on the radio.
Yep.
We have two stations that we're on the radio every day, every week for years.
Right.
That's not going to stop. If anything, we plan to invest more money in those categories because we have to compete with everybody out there in the big boxes and the online stores and online, the online. And, along with that, speaking of online, we as a company are fully integrated online.
Uh-huh.
We can sell plumbing, appliances, lighting to consumers, what we call B2C, business to consumers.
Right.
Those websites are in place. We've worked on getting that ready for over 3 years. I have a team of people that they're dedicated to our internet sales.
Yep.
And we also have what we call our B2B site that we already did. B2B is business to business.
Yes.
Like plumbers or electricians can log in. They can see their account. They can see their pricing. And they can place the orders to be set up to be picked up at a store or to be delivered by us. Same thing with appliances and lighting. That is fully in place.
Yeah.
Not very many people that can say that.
No.
Or some of my peers throughout the country cannot say that.
Yeah. And by the way, fitting all that together, and really more importantly, I think, Gene, from your view, certainly from mine, looking at what you guys are doing, that's what it's going to take. And you're going to have to be, and I always point out, I always get my phone off and tell everybody, hey, can they find you here?
Yeah.
And if they can find you there, you're probably going to do well.
Yes.
So doing the right things as you go forward like that and continue, and of course that's another evolution. There's always something new. There's always some other way.
Yeah.
Another big thing that we're starting to, of course, we all see it right now. We're in an election year, so we get a lot of text.
Right. Yeah.
So the text side of things, that's another area that we are delving into as a group big time, and finding out that there are pockets of certain people, they don't want an email.
Yeah.
They want to text. Mm-hmm. So they're, again, just staying on top of those things. I know you guys are doing that, and that's what we do. And anyway, well, listen, I want to wrap this up here in a few minutes. I know you got a big grand opening coming up here in a little bit. You got to do ribbon cutting, and you're going to be out here talking to all the people, and I want you to be there. Yeah. But is there any final comments that you would like to make here today before we get off? And then I'll make a couple things for you, and we'll go from there.
Yes, there is. I would like to thank you and your staff for coming down, and I want to thank Nationwide Southwest for everything you do for the independents, and you give us the ability to compete, and not only compete, but to grow our business versus the big box, the big boys, and it's very important what you do. And I belong to plumbing and electrical buying groups, and it's a tremendous thing that you do for all your members, no matter how small. If you have one store, you have 10 stores, it puts us on a level playing field, and you do a heck of a job. And if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't say it. And we appreciate you, and we need you to keep doing what you're doing. You keep doing.
All right, very good. Well, we're going to keep doing what we do, and we're going to keep helping everybody.
Yes.
And with that, I just want to say the last thing I want to bring up is it is an honor. It is an honor for me to sit here with you as one of our members. And like I say, we are a co-op, and as a co-op, you are, of course, a stockholder, one of the owners. And I like to tell our team all the time, never forget who your boss is.
Right.
And the boss, in our case, is our membership.
Correct.
And that's our culture. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. We have built a culture around taking care of the member, understanding what our role is, and knowing what we need to do for them to help them grow. So with that, first of all, I want to say thank you. Appreciate it so much.
Yes.
Well, they have a wonderful day, and we're going to look forward to a tremendous grand opening.
Thank you, Dennis, again for being here, and know that we are very proud to be a Nationwide Southwest member. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right.